So K-Sith and Red 13 are both 48.
Oh wow.
K-Sith is 3-2. Red 13 is 3-9. They were both born in 1953. I guess that means that.
But that's really old for a cat.
Well,
I don't think so.
I think he's like a mechanical cat. Like I think it's some kind of. Okay, so here's the controversy about this.
Yeah.
In Advent Children, it was the cat on top of Red 13, and that was the character. And they think, oh, that's what it's going to be in the
Yeah.
in Final Fantasy remake,
But
the next
that's not-
part.
But that's not what he was in the game. So.
Yeah, and that would frustrate me to no end if they did that, because they're taking away a character that you could be playing that could be a tank, because K-Sith was a tank, like a real good, like
Get away, lady.
strong, and was a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
So that, like another Barrett but close range. And I think that's like, and they're like, people are like, I don't know what weapon he would have. He had a megaphone, and I don't know if he really used it as a megaphone. I think he just like whacked people with it. But that's fine. Like, the rest of this is crazy. Like, why not just have it that way?
Right.
So I would be frustrated if it was that. But like, I don't know. I think another issue that people have with, the scene in here when Kate Sith is like watching the plate fall.
Yeah.
And you see a little glimpse of him, like.
Yeah.
They're saying, was Reeve like controlling him doing that? Because that would be kind of weird. Like what is he doing? Just controlling, animating him, being like, oh, that sucks, kind of thing.
Oh, I never.
Yeah, which I thought.
Sorry, I was saying I never assessed them. Sorry.
Oh no, you're
I
fine.
was mumbling to myself.
But I think an easy solution to that argument is basically that it could be like a combination of Mako and like technology invention kind of thing that would create this semi automatic.
I was just saying you were gonna say semi-automatic.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Like character, like so yeah, he does control him, but he sort of animates himself.
Yeah.
So he has these kind of like pseudo feelings and things like that. I think that makes the most sense. I mean, he can't like always make everything like super
Which is the way
explained
I'm
out.
supposed to go. Because I want to go where I'm not supposed to go first.
Down.
Go down first?
Yeah. So Rufus Shinra was 25. Oh, I think that was it. So speaking of automatons and technology and stuff, this can kind of get into the next conversation that I was thinking about having today, which has to do with artificial intelligence.
Oh God. Okay.
So people are like, freaking out about. You might want to go down, I think.
Why? There was another path.
Yeah, but I think there's something down. Like if you go down that ladder, I think it goes to the ground, but I just want to make sure, because you can always get up to the other path, the first way you went. Yeah, that's fine. All right, yeah, just go back up the other way. Just wanted to make sure. So people think that, like, the singularity is going to happen, and AI is going to.
Theory, but we don't know for sure. Obviously, we can't tell the future.
Well, they just think that AI is going to take over, right?
Yeah.
They think that mankind is no good for themselves, so they should eradicate us in order to save us, which is like a paradox or whatever. I don't know.
We're killing ourselves off anyway.
But here's the thing with that, and
There, check it out.
a developer I work with made a really good point about that.
Who did?
Some developer that I worked with.
Oh, okay.
She said
Well, we did take a
that people fill in the blanks of things they don't understand with like magic.
How about you?
So when they explain things like that, they come up with the best explanation they can based on like science fiction and things they don't understand.
I'm always cooking. And that's the
part of that too is that they want. It's like they want it to be self-destructive because they can't deal with the fact that they haven't fully conceived of it or understood what it
Yeah.
actually is.
Well, that goes into like one of my favorite quotes. I don't remember where I heard it, but one of my favorite things that I like is like saying is that like magic is just science that we haven't discovered yet.
Yeah, but the thing with artificial intelligence is that it's not gonna, robots are not gonna take over. AI is not gonna take over
We don't
unless people program it to do so. Artificial intelligence only carries out what it's programmed to do. And because
But it depends on if it's the kind that it depends on if it learns.
but even if it learns according to a specific set of parameters. And because people understand that and they think about it in the way of, well, what if the parameters are very loosely defined? Well, then the AI is not going to work. Because AI runs on a very specific set of principles and like logic. It's all logic. So it can't just like have a mind of its own, because AI doesn't have a mind of its own. It has what it's programmed to do, and that's it. So I think the only way for AI to get like out of control like that is for somebody to
Did I miss
plan
something, or am I
and
supposed to be
create
here?
that feedback loop. You can walk. Well, there's really nothing there, but
Oh,
you can
okay.
walk around. Yeah. So people have to create that loop in order for it to actually happen that way. It's just that the way that developers of artificial intelligence explain it, they're basically saying it can think for itself. It's
Yeah.
kind of like video games. Like
Yeah.
when you play Breath of the Wild, you think, "Holy crap, I can do everything. I can do everything in this game."
Yeah.
And that's no understatement for people who play games. But as somebody who is not a gamer, you take that and you're like, you think,
Who's not a gamer?
well, a lot of people don't play games. But
Who's not a gamer? Sorry,
But people may misinterpret that and say like, "Oh, can you pick your nose and fling a booger against the wall?" Well, no, you can't do everything.
Yeah.
But compared to what you used to be able to do in games and what
yeah.
you expect, yeah, you can do pretty much anything you would want to do in a game,
Yeah.
and that's a huge that's a huge
Can't
goalpost
romance
for
anyone though.
yeah. Well, so it's right, and that's my point.
The point is, you can't romance people in Breath of the Wild.
Well, no, I mean the same thing goes for artificial intelligence.
You can't gay.
Artificial intelligence can learn, and artificial intelligence can quote unquote think for itself, but it really can't learn like people learn. It
Yeah.
can't think for itself like people think for themselves, and it can't create anything.
Yeah.
Like it can reproduce
Oh
eventually.
my god, have you seen the website of This Person Does Not Exist?
No.
Oh, I have to show you later. It's
Is
so
it like a
crazy.
logic loop or something?
No, it's just a page of faces of people that don't exist that AI just created out of nothing, and like some of them look really real. Some of them look like real people, and then some just look terrifying and crazy.
Yeah. And that's exactly the reason why like artificial
It's like
intelligence will
uncanny how much some of these look like real people though.
yeah.
It's scary.
When people talk about how scary artificial intelligence can be and like how they can take over the world and all that stuff, I like to ask them, have you ever talked to chatbot? Have you I would get away from
Oh,
it
that's
as soon as you
already?
can. Get away from
Okay.
it. Get away from it.
What?
Okay. They have self-destruct.
I killed it with lightning.
Wait, so that prevents it from self-destructing?
I guess. I don't know.
That might be a thing, and I never thought of that.
All I know is it died.
When you kill it, it releases a ball that blows up. But it didn't do that, so maybe you're right.
Maybe I am
Lost?
Augers. No. I am elite gamer.
Maybe you are expert RPGer.
Yes. I'm a pro pro gamer.
So that thought process, because I was thinking about it on the way from work today.
Oh, I gotta push the thingy, okay? Why don't you go and push the thing? There's a ladder right there. She's probably too weak. Come on, Cloud, let's go. Thank you.
I was thinking about what AI does right now. The greatest achievement that AI has accomplished is to be able to figure out, based on what our actions are, to analyze and sell us stuff.
Right.
Try moving that container to make it
I
fast.
know!
So I started thinking,
Sorry, I just yell at her all the time.
yeah, like also in email and in text, there's autocorrect,
Yeah,
but then there's also, in emails how it completes your sentences. It
No, I don't write emails.
it takes it does. It's like
Or
it says
autofill?
it's like an autofill, but it does like the rest of the sentence. Like
Oh, weird.
it'll do I'm trying to think of a
They
good
go based
example.
off of data and see what's the most common thing that you would say after those words.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of them were pre-scripted, but like
Yeah.
it's like, thank you, like I'll type thank you and it'll say for your time and consideration,
Yeah.
and then depending on what I'm typing, it'll finish out different things. Now I
I
could
know my phone does that with like stuff that I like recently said or something.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you.
I could see it being I could see it being catered towards a certain person's
Way to think ahead.
tendency to say certain things
Yeah.
and personality.
Yes, we're home free.
And maybe mood to a certain extent eventually,
You're getting paid right now. Huh?
but still don't know what she means by that. You're getting
Oh.
paid right now.
Because she said that she was paying him with a date and she's considering this a date.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a weird date, girl.
I know. She considers it a date because he's being her knight in shining armor.
He's just like, I'm just going places. I'm just taking this rock with me, apparently. I'm taking this rock and this barrel for a date.
Yeah.
That's
So-
how I feel about dates.
So if I have a conversation with you,
Yeah.
that's a very, like, I'll say something and you'll be like, that's a very Aaron thing to say.
Yes.
That's and AI could eventually get to a point where it will start thinking about things that certain people will say, and you could have a facsimile of a person that would actually
what?
like a facsimile. That's where they got the word fax, like a copy of a person, like the way that they talk, that would talk back in conversation with somebody, and could not just follow prompts,
watching?
but could also like deep fake a conversation.
Deepfakes are terrifying.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example of that. It's basically AI just analyzes and just churns out, like produces logical next steps.
Yeah.
So then when you get all the way down to the end of like robotics and like making robots like look lifelike, and projecting somebody's minor minor personality tics and everything into their faces and how they talk and everything, you really could like replace people, and like people wouldn't be able to tell a difference between the robot or the real person. That I think can happen, but
Deepfakes are just terrifying.
I think the singularity would happen before that, which they think is going to happen within the next 30 to 50 years. But I think it's going to be more beneficial to us. Like I think that like a lot of diseases will be cured, and a
Yeah,
lot of
it's-
world problems will be
It's
solved.
it's kind of like in the vein of like, how people will argue security versus privacy kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where there's like a double edge to it, because it's like, at what point do you like? It's like nature versus technology kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, do you want the progress that comes with Singularity,
All right.
or do you want natural
Yeah.
life? Like it's complicated.
Well, I
It
think the
gets
perfect example of that is genetic modification. Like you can cure genetic diseases, but some of those genetic, like, and not just like complete diseases, but like a lot of quirks come with that too, and that make that person who they are. And at what point are you going to remove everything that you essentially use to identify that person? It's like they're not them anymore unless they are what makes them up as a person.
Well, well. What are you doing all the way up there?
Was trying to get a look at the reactor. Who's this guy?
Oh.
You really didn't know where he
He's a
was.
mercenary.
No, I didn't, because there were kids over there, so I was like, wait, she's talking to a boy? Where is he? Hi, kid.
See you.
Okay, let's go.
I see you. I see you.
He's in a pod.
I love you. Kiss it.
Move out of my way, lady. Come on. He just keeps shoving her.
I like how you just like she's supposed to be leading you, but I like how you're just like pushing your way through.
What are you guys up to?
Ah! You guys too slow.
Oh, that's right. You're supposed
You need to
come
pad the
back.
runtime for this chapter.
I don't know.
Well,
You're supposed
I could
to.
see him like in the storyboarding section. Like, okay, let's like
The lead
pad
house
this
is where
out
the
so that we can have a full
That's where all
game
these kids live.
and like.
Hey, Aaron, where'd you go? The
I
church again?
okay, I hate these kids' voices. You know why?
What?
Because you very clearly can tell that it's a grown woman doing those voices. The one,
Apparently.
I think one or two of the kids are actually voiced by kids, and you can always tell.
Thanks again for all those herbs.
Well, you know, child labor and all that.
No problem.
Well, you know, they're child stars, and they only have to say a couple of things into a microphone.
So you're saying child stars don't have to worry about child labor laws?
Well, it's
They
like
don't apply to them.
they can do like it could be a learning experience for them, like just speaking into a microphone and be doing a role like playing pretend. That's fun. It's not child labor like you're making them work in a sweatshop or a coal
It's
mine.
still work.
Hey, my house is this way.
But
Oh.
isn't going to school still work?
Here's the
I
lead house.
wouldn't call it that.
Why not? Because they're not getting paid? Is it the only condition
There
that
you are.
determines that it's work?
And we brought Aaron with us.
I'm challenging this.
No, I'm just.
Because I want my child actors.
No, because I want to go, and I'm just like, come on, game, let's go.
Flowers.
Sorry, don't take that out of context.
How many?
What?
All you can carry.
When I said I want my child actors.
Oh my God.
We've been hearing on the news recently about some flowers might help cheer everyone up.
I'm sure they will. And I'd love to help. Let's all wash up before our meeting.
Look at that little Zac Efron baby over there, or Justin Bieber.
Justin Efron.
Justin Efron. Hello.
Zach Bieber.
I'm not. That's not me.
Zebra.
Did you see that? I just went over to talk to her, and she said, "Thank you so much, Erin." And I'm like, "That's not me, though."
Which one's the hoe? The teacher?
What?
So, Cloud,
What,
what's
there's
your
a
favorite
teacher there
flower?
that's like a hoe.
What?
You sure you want to
Okay, not a hoe, but she's a dancer at the Honeybee Inn.
Okay. Then what'd you do with the flower I gave you?
Oh.
You
Just
give
a
it away?
dancer.
No, I just said which one's the
You're a
hoe.
jerk.
Tell me.
Well, because it's Wall Market and it's seedy and you got prostitution going on there, so that's why I said that. Not saying that like people who exotic dance are hoes. That's completely not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth.
You're putting your own words in your own mouth.
You
You
it's
are
like
stuffing your mouth.
I'm
full
glad
of
you don't
words.
edit these videos and like edit something that makes me say like exotic dancers are hoes. And then you just take that little bit out of my mouth and like
Yeah.
look, this is what he said. Aaron said it. It's
You
like,
said it. You said those words. Maybe not in that order or context, but
I
he
love
said those
this
words.
part.
I know her house is so pretty.
There you go. That's my house.
I love her. This area. It's so beautiful.
I like the mailbox.
Yeah.
Who goes to deliver mail there? That's what I want to know.
Their mailman.
Correct.
I mean, am I wrong?
Oh, no, you're not.
Hey, baby.
I just want to kick Palmer's
Does it
ass.
feel good?
That's what
Ruby
Pumpkin.
might.
What are those hanging from the ceiling?
This
Are those
This is my mom.
They look
grapes?
like giant grapes.
Olives.
This is Cloud, my bodyguard.
Hi.
Oh yeah.
Take good care of her.
That's my job.
Konnichiwa.
Or was my job.
You know,
Yep.
I should play this through on Japanese.
So Cloud, you gonna head back to Sector 7?
Yeah.
It'd be a good way to
Then I'll show
learn.
you the way.
Just to play it over and over again. And all I know is phrases in Japanese from this game.
It'd suck,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I've
you
dealt
could,
with them
I wonder if you
before.
can have you could probably have English subtitles,
Honestly,
right?
I'm much more worried about you.
Yeah, but like,
What if you get lost?
just play it like 800
Too
times
embarrassed
through
to admit
in
it.
Japanese.
Just keep on
And then you
going.
just memorize
Quit
it.
acting like you know me.
Hey Mom, I'm gonna go take Cloud over to Sector 7, okay?
Okay. But why not wait until tomorrow? If you head out now, it'll be dark when you get back. Better to rest up here and make the trip first thing in the morning. When you'll have daylight to spare.
I'm actually really excited for
She's got a
the gameplay
Hold on.
to be closer to what the movies are.
To the Leaf House.
Like the opening sequence and then the one that's like real also really like realistic looking sort of.
That wasn't the deal.
You mean you want more? Even though you've got a priceless reward coming your way?
sex?
Do you know what I promised him?
I'll do it.
Why would you be embarrassed about her telling her own mother about blowjobs?
That era. She's a handful.
It'd be funny
isn't
if
she?
Cloud was the one who's like really embarrassing and just talking like about like really off-putting stuff.
Right.
It must
like-
be tough. No, never mind.
Talk to me.
It must be
What
tough.
must be tough?
She wants you.
Okay, bye. Let me
I
read
wonder-
your house.
you
Can
know-
I read your house?
Hey, so you know
Look at
how
the pumpkin!
Elmira is like really protective of Aerith, and she just like she's rubbed the wrong way by Cloud and she just doesn't like him.
Yeah.
What if behind that whole thing she just wants it bad from Cloud, and that's the reason why she's like acting the way she is?
That's funny.
You could read it that way and you could see the whole like all those scenes and stuff in a completely different light.
Yeah. That's really funny. She's like, I just want to be a cougar, man.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
she's gonna be like Stifler's mom.
Oh my god.
Aerith's mom.
Oh, hello, blinding sun.
I love those flowers.
These ones?
All of them.
Oh, yeah, it's really so pretty.
And on the other side too.
I don't like
Look into the
when
sun.
I get blinded, though.
Ah!